Hi, this is Gene Triplett, entertainment editor for the Oklahoman and News OK. I'm here today with Matt Price and Brandy McDonnell, and this is our sneak peek at what's coming up in the Weekend Look section this coming Friday. And the big play story on the cover this week is going to be Matt Price's story on the Watchmen, which opens March the 6th. Matt attended the junket in LA and interviewed quite a few members of the cast. The first story you're going to hit is your Jackie Earle Haley.
Right, Jackie Earle Haley is playing Rorschach in the movie. He's sort of the masked detective at the center of Watchmen who's a little bit unbalanced. And Jackie Earle Haley said actually he had been discussed for this part just online among fans well before they ever got around to making the movie. And kind of the interesting story about that is he made his own audition tape where he puts on the mask and did a scene out of the graphic novel and sent it into the producers, and that's essentially what got him cast. Obviously, he was coming off a lot of buzz from Little Children and an Oscar nomination, so it became even a better choice once that all lined up. But a lot of the reason they chose him was just because of this audition tape they sent in. The producer said they had sent around the graphic novel and the script to people, even suggesting for other roles like the comedian or Night Owl, and almost all of them would come back and say, I want to play Rorschach. Can you get me in to play Rorschach? But they decided that Jackie Earle Haley was the best way to go, and he really completely inhabits it. I mean, they make him look and sound. It's just like you would expect from the graphic novel. It's a very impressive performance, even more so by the fact that he's wearing a full face mask for a good 2/3 of the movie and having to act his way through a full stocking mask. So,
yeah. So the film itself, have we got something big to look forward to?
I think it's going to open well. Obviously, any particular review talk is embargoed at this point, but I do think that the way it's been marketed and presented, you're going to see a pretty good turnout, especially among the comic fans.
All right, something to look forward to. Brandy, you've got an interview with Nicholas D'Augusto. Is that right?
Yes. I interviewed Nicholas D'Augusto. He's starred in the new movie Fired Up that debuted over the weekend. And he's really an interesting kind of guy. It's an interesting pairing because eventually, basically what happens is the chemistry between he and Eric Christian Olsen, who play the two buddies in this sort of teenage sex comedy, is really what makes the humor work in the movie. So I talked a lot about how they sort of developed the chemistry. They didn't know each other going into the film, but how they sort of became fast friends and sort of developed that chemistry that they needed to play these sort of lifelong buddies who are constantly zinging these sort of Juno-like zingers at each other. So he was a pretty interesting guy to talk to. A lot of people have seen him on Heroes and also on The Office. Yeah. And made his debut in the film Election. He's an Omaha native, so he talked a little bit about that, playing that role whenever he was very young in that film.
That sounds like a fun read. And also, I talked this past weekend to Carl Finch, the leader of Denton, Texas's own atomic polka rock and roll band, Brave Combo, who's coming to the Blue Door this weekend. And Carl also talked about a new music festival that's opening up March 12th through the 15th. It's called the 12 by 35, and it's sort of a prelude to the much larger South by Southwest Festival in Austin next month. So there's going to be a lot of really good name bands coming through for the smaller Denton Festival, with Brave Combo as one of the big headliners down there. So that'll be fun, and it's a good way to showcase the really underrated and untouted Denton, Texas music scene, which is pretty fantastic. So that'll be an interesting conversation. So that's what we have coming up for a Weekend Look this week. I hope you'll pick up a copy and take a look, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Let's see it.